Printer can print up to 10 lines per second.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
This printer can print up to 10 lines per second. This printer can print up to 10 lines per second.
Welcome to Lesson 5, Functions. Okay, functions are very important. They can do a lot of work for us. Typically they do, in more complex programs, they do a lot of work. They're kind of like mini programs inside our larger programs. Okay, so let's demonstrate. So I've got a file here, an Atom file. I'm calling it functions.html. Go ahead and copy that down and we can get started. Okay, so you wrote a function. It's called say hello. And you notice we write a function using the keyword function. And then say hello, in this case, is its name. And then in this case, all we're doing is console logging the text hello. All right, so let's go ahead and run that. Or I'm going to open it first. Okay, we need to open our console. So View, Developer, JavaScript console. If you are using a different browser, you'll need to find your console probably a different way, possibly in your window menu. Okay, so the output of the console is not showing anything. It's empty. So let me close that. And that is because even though we've written a function, we haven't called the function. We need to call the function. So say hello, and then parentheses. That's a function call right there. Save that. Let's reload this. There we go. Hello. Okay. In addition to that, something I want to show you right off the bat is we called the function. And we can call the function more than once. We can call the function as many times as we want. So here we're calling it twice. And you can see we have two outputs there. Okay? So that's that. Okay, we can also pass an input into the function. So, and the way we do that is we put a variable in here. Let's call it name. And so what we'll do is we'll console log hello. I need a space in between the O and the quotes. Hello plus name. Okay, and now when we call it, we need to give it a name. Let's see what that looks like. Hello, Jim. Okay, so what we did is we passed a variable into the function and we used it in our console log here. So we said, say hello, Jim. We can obviously put different names in there. Say hello, Sally. Okay? Okay, what else can we do? Well, we don't have to only use text. We can use numbers, which we do a lot in code. And we can pass it multiple variables. Let's pass it 3 variables called ABC. Actually, let's change the name of the function to AVESUM, capital SUM. That stands for average sum. And what we'll do is we'll say let sum equal A plus b plus c. Let average equal, or ABE, SUM divided by 3. Okay, so we have two variables. One is sum and one is average, and you can see what they're doing there. And then what we'll do is we'll console log quote sum equals space plus sum plus, I'm going to leave just an empty space there, plus quote average equals plus AVE. Okay, so what we did there is we're basically combining text in quotes with these variables. So I have sum equals, that's actual text, and then I'm going to add the sum to that, and then a space. Actually, you don't need this space here. We can do it this way. There we go. Quote, space, average equals, space, quote, and then AVE. And then the way I'll call that is AVE SUM. Now I need to pass it 3 numbers. So any 3, I'm just going to give it 3 integers. Let's see what that does. Sum equals 135. AVE equals 45. So the average is 45. The sum is 135. Okay? You may be wondering, how can we add a number to text? Well, what happens in this case is JavaScript takes that text and it interprets the next item here after the plus sign as text. So it converts that number to text. So this whole output is text, basically. Save this. Let me run it again. So this is all text. And notice it's in black. Now watch this. What if I just did this? I'm going to get rid of everything in there. And I'm going to console log just sum. Now notice there's no text in there. We're just outputting sum. And notice that is in blue. That means it's a number. The previous output was in black. That means it's text. And what just happened is, in this case, JavaScript is not trying to combine text with a number, so it doesn't have to convert anything. So it just leaves sum as a number. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to the point here, which is function. Okay, so we have function. Its name is average sum. It's taking 3 variables, which are sometimes called parameters, and it's adding them here, and then it's averaging them here, and then it's outputting them, and then we called it down here. Now, again, we can call it as many times as we want. Let's give it different numbers this time. So 3 different numbers, 2 calls, and they each have 3 different numbers. And we get a different result here. We're just outputting sum in this case. Okay? So that's pretty much it for functions. The functions we're going to use in more complex code are going to be a lot more interesting, and they're going to do a lot more work and return a lot more interesting results. Okay, but that gives you the basics of how functions work. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.